challenging anyone who says, okay, if it fits my macros. Like, so this has your macros, which is just like gravity. If you jump off a building, something's gonna happen, right? You're not gonna go up. I can eat whatever I want. It's basic stuff, which anyone can really do. So we're gonna talk about some tips, some ways. This barcode here on MyFitnessPal. So I saw this one Instagram post where there was one sneaker bar being compared to a pole. The guy was saying that these things are the same. Hey, what's up? How you guys doing? Nate here, back again. Nate08 Fitness, continuation from eating habits. Did an intro when I called you guys out, some of you guys with some bad eating habits, and now I'm gonna talk to you guys and figure out a way to help you guys out. Talk about some tips, some ways, some things that I've found that really work when it comes to diet and nutrition. Some of the principles, basic stuff, which anyone can really do actually at the end of the day, all right? So first of all, I wanna talk about the reason why we eat food. In the last video, I was talking about, knowing the reason why we eat food, right? So the reason why we actually eat food is to make sure that our bodies have energy to maintain our body functions, right? So digestion, making sure that we're regulating our body temperature, making sure that we're fighting against diseases, making sure that we have enough energy to go to work, to study, to exercise, to do all these things, to lift up this package here and put it down. That requires energy. To talk to you guys, I'm using energy. What I'm doing right now, I'm using some energy. So for me to get that energy, it has to come from somewhere. So that's why I eat food, okay? That's why we eat food at the end of the day. Yes, we might want to make sure that the food tastes great. That's great, that's awesome. But the main reason that's why we eat food. And it's okay to make your food taste better, but you should not compromise your health whilst you're at it. That's the important thing. That's number one. You need to make sure that your health is taken care of. You don't just look good, but you make sure that everything inside of you is working and functioning properly. So all your organs are functioning properly, making sure that you're taking the right food inside of you. It really matters, okay? So we're gonna break it down like this. So when it comes to food, like I was talking about energy, right? So the food that we eat is gonna give us energy to do all this stuff I was talking about, right? So this energy is what we might call calories, all right? Some countries might call it something different. So calories are actually the amount of energy estimated to be in food. Who knows if it's accurate, right? It's stuff that can change from time to time. Nothing is absolute. That's what we should know with science, with some things here, when we're measuring certain things, that there could be a little bit of discrepancies, right? So with that being said, the food that we eat has calories, right? So if you are looking at losing weight, you need to figure out, okay, so with all this activity that I do in a day, how much should I eat, right? How much food should I eat, or how many calories should I consume? That's the question you should ask yourself in the first place. All right, so if you want to lose weight, you want to make sure that you're eating less energy, so calories, than the amount of output that you're putting out, so the amount of energy that you're expending and doing stuff, or your body is expending, maintaining itself, right? So that's what you need to figure out, which is something that you need to start off somewhere. Start off with a baseline, with some base foods, and then work your way, right? And monitor always with a scale and see what you're looking like as well with the mirror, right? So that's how you adjust things. And if you're looking to just easily just maintain whatever you are, or your weight, however you look, you can just eat the same amount of calories as you would normally be eating. If you're happy with the way you look, with the way you weigh, you can just eat the same. And if you're looking at gaining some mass, you want to make sure that you're eating a little bit more, right? And all this being said, it works way better and it's most effective if you have some sort of training program that you're following as well, if you're into weightlifting or anything like that. But just being active, making sure that your body's active. because you want your metabolism to be functioning, to be revved up, so that you're easily digesting all this food and your body can easily break it down, right? So the more active you are, the easier it is for your body to actually break all this food down, right? So with this being said, this is how calories work, right? And someone might say, oh, why is it calories? Why is it calories important? Why should I pick that? Why do I say you should look at calories? The reason why I say this is that we're living in the universe, right? And in the universe, we have laws which we're bound to and we cannot run away from, okay? So one of the laws that we have that applies to this is the conservation of energy, the law of conservation of energy, which is just like gravity. If you jump off a building, something's gonna happen, right? You're not gonna go up, okay? Something's gonna happen. You're probably gonna go down, right? So you cannot defy that, right? So it's the same thing with energy. Conservation of energy says that energy cannot be created or destroyed, but can be transferred from one form to another, okay? So when you're eating food, the amount of energy, why people gain weight is that they eat too many calories and your body has to convert those calories from the food into another form of energy because you're not going to use it. Your body's not using it because it's extra, it's excess. So it's going to be stored as bad weight or fat. Okay, so this is what you do not want if you're someone who's looking at losing weight. That's what you do not want. And now, with that being said, if you want to gain weight, you might want to eat a little bit excess, right? Some people have a tough time gaining weight. You're going to eat a little bit more than what you normally eat, right? So with this being said, it's not the only thing you need to consider. The source of your calories also matter, right? And what your macros are. Your macros, your protein, your carbs, your fat. These are what going to determine your body composition. What you look like, how full your body looks like. Do you look fluffy? Do you look lean? What exactly is your body composition? And this is not talking about water weight, right? And so with that being said, for everybody, it also depends on your body type, on your genes, everything. It's not the same for everyone, what your macros are, but there's usually guidelines. You need to figure out what really works for you. For myself, I like a little bit more protein. Okay, I eat my proteins is higher than my carbs. That's what I do. That's what works for me. I only eat carbs just to fuel me through the day, fuel my workouts, and possibly one more meal after the gym, right? Just for carbs, just for fuel for me to get through the day. I don't want to store any excess. That's why I stay relatively lean. I keep my carbs low and I have more protein meals, right? And my protein, I like to have my protein from different sources. Okay, meat protein, plant-based protein, from my dairy, everything. Okay, so I like having my protein from everywhere, just to make sure that I get all my amino acids and I'm healthy. I have everything, right? So that's me, that's what I prefer. You have to figure out what works for you, try it out, see what works for you. That's just my principle and what I practice. Who knows, it might change with time, and it should change as well, because our bodies change with time and they demand different things at different times, right? Because I know some people actually just prefer to have plant-based protein, right? Or plant-based foods, because the idea is that everything starts with the sun, right? So everything is connected, the universe is connected. The sun provides the energy to the earth, right? And all plants get that direct sunlight and they grow and they absorb that energy. So if you eat right from the source, some people say, and most likely it's true, that they're getting the best benefits, because what happens is that if you're eating meat protein, like say beef, that cow is gonna eat on that food. When it eats on that food, it's gonna use some of that energy. It's gonna use some of that energy, store it, which you're gonna eat, but some of it is gonna be transferred to be another form as well, like fertilizer, because some of it's gonna be waste, right? And it's gonna be fertilizer. It's gonna pass out some waste, and who knows what happens to the rest, right? It gets it goes somewhere, right, in the universe. We're not going to get into that now. So with this being said, the source of nutrients matter, right? So we want to make sure that we know our macros, like I said, being the protein, your carbs, and your fats, because these are going to determine your body composition. So if you're looking at losing weight, you might figure out, okay, I need this amount of protein in a day, I might need this amount of carbs in a day, or this amount of fats in a day. Your source of those macros is going to matter as well as to how you lose weight, because you might say my target is going to be this for my macros, for my fats, for my protein, for my carbs. Because you're saying this now, this doesn't mean that you can go on and eat junk food and stay underneath those macros, right? You want to be eating something that's sustainable, keeping habits and eating food that is sustainable, that can get you through the day. For example, I saw this one Instagram post where there was one sneaker bar being compared to a bowl of oatmeal with a tablespoon of peanut butter, and the guy was saying that these things are the same. I think the difference was like 2 or 4 calories in between the two, and the macros seemed very similar. So for me, if you give me those options, I'm probably gonna pick the oatmeal, right? Because oatmeal is nutrient dense, and the sneaker bar, we don't know how many ingredients are in this thing. It's somehow gone through so many processes for it to be manufactured, because it's gone through different plants and mills and who knows where it's been for them to come up with that sneaker bar, right? So the amount of processes that has happened, the value of it has actually gone, right? So we don't know what we're actually eating, right? But for the oatmeal, I know that this is nutrient dense, hasn't been processed as much as a sneaker bar. So for me to say, okay, this is gonna fit my macros, doesn't really work. Okay, I'm not saying don't eat no sneaker bar. No, you can eat a sneaker bar, but all I'm saying is just be careful. Figure out what works for you and be smart. Make smart choices. Okay, make smart choices, because is that if it fits your macros, it's not always applied in the right way. This means that, okay, just maybe one day you might say, okay, I'm not gonna eat this bowl of oatmeal and I'm gonna eat this sneaker bar, because you wanna hit your macros. And who knows, you could even eat both. I think you can even eat both. I would eat both if I wanted to eat the sneaker bar, but it just means that I might have to do more work. I might just go to the gym, do more cardio, and just work extra to burn it off, right? But I wouldn't recommend that to someone who's starting to actually try and lose weight. You need to be at a state where you're actually fairly lean and you're in control for you to be able to play around with those numbers, right? And say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna compensate there. But if you're already struggling losing weight, being cautious and picking smart food choices is your best bet. Okay, so for example here, where you can get started, you can download MyFitnessPal, get it on your phone, and what you want to do is scan the barcode, this barcode here on MyFitnessPal. When you scan it, MyFitnessPal will take the nutrients, the nutritional facts listed on the back here. So this has your macros, it has your micronutrients, all your vitamins, all your other stuff like your fiber, everything else, all your micronutrients, your macronutrients. So it's going to break it down and tell you how many carbs you have, what's the protein in there, what's the fat amount in your oatmeal per serving. And it also has the amount as well, measured in grams as well. So it's important that you have a scale, because you cannot eyeball it and say, hey, okay, I assume this is going to be 30 grams, okay? Just using your eyes, because maybe you've measured pasta that was 30 grams in a bowl and you use the same bowl. No, it's going to be different, because the food has different density as well. So you need to actually get a scale. When you're starting off, you need to weigh your food, and then with time, you don't have to, because you probably have a good idea and you're not trying to be that strict with your food. It's not fun. It's not always fun just weighing things every day, but you can almost guesstimate at that point, because now you're used to it. It's now a habit, right? You want it to be something that you know and then you're conscious about when you're practicing, right? So that's my tip on diet and nutrition right now. There's a lot to diet and nutrition. I just had to break it down here, just a real quick glimpse here. And if you need any help, hit up anyone who has some experience with diet and nutrition. You have registered dietitians. For myself, I'm not certified in diet and nutrition, but I've done what works for me. I believe in some of the basic principles, you know, energy conservation. Some of this stuff is pretty straightforward and simple. And from my experience, I've done a couple shows. Not that I'm a pro expert or anything, but I know what I'm talking about. And I believe it works for me, and I'm sure it can work for other people out there. So take the time, experiment with yourself, see what works for you, and throw out what doesn't work, because everybody is different. What works for me today might not work for me, you know, in 5 years, 10 years again, right? Because things change. It might not work for you as well. It might work for you, right? So the important thing is you get started. Anyone who's gonna help you out, they're probably gonna give you a baseline, somewhere to start off from, okay? Where you can start off from and build up from and learn from it, right? But you need to come in with an open mind. Just be conscious when you get started with this process, because it takes a little bit of time. But once you figure it out, it's the best thing that you can do for yourself. Because what you do now, when you're able to understand all this stuff, you're gonna realize if you're picking the good food options, you're gonna feel like your energy is always high, and you're having more fun in your life. You're happy, you're alive, you know, you're living life. Life gets better, all right? Life gets better. Another topic I was gonna talk about is auto intoxication. I'll talk about auto intoxication in the next video, and auto intoxication is very important, and this is gonna be challenging anyone who says, okay, if it fits my macros, I can eat whatever I want. And I don't necessarily agree with it entirely. Some people take it overboard. I'll talk about it in the next video, auto intoxication. You should look it up, and it's very important, okay? It won't be too long like this one. I've went on and on and on, but yeah, we're gonna talk about it. All right, take care, cheers, bang.